back with my many men. We have the men from PocketNow, and we have Josh Regar, who's already been on the stream yesterday from Android Authority. And so I wanted to bring these guys on because, well, they're always having me onto their podcasts, and since I don't have a podcast, this is the best I can do. This is it. This is all I got. I gotta have a live stream to the internet.
We have to rectify that soon. We have to get you a podcast.
Yeah, we keep, Josh and I keep on talking about it, but yeah, no, okay, I can do it, but I just, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Maybe you can weigh in on the internet of whether it's a good idea that I have a podcast.
Do it. It's a great idea.
So, we were going to talk about what happened this week. Oh.
Not much, right?
We all slept a ton.
Yeah, got a lot of rest.
Didn't drink anything.
Ate at meal times.
Ate at meal
right
times.
on time.
We did what? Excuse me?
And we all worked out excessively. Actually, Josh and I worked out during frequencies.
Yeah, during frequencies. I wasn't excessively, but it was enough to at least be ready for MWC.
Why does he look surprised about that? I don't think he understands that portion.
The biggest exposure I got to working out was seeing all the people at the Fitbit booth running in place on treadmills. And I was like, yes,
watching them for 5
indeed.
minutes, then you're like,
yeah,
I feel good now.
living vicariously through the exercisers is the only way to cover MWC, I think.
That's awesome. I'm in the Sasha chair. I love this right now.
Yeah, it's a comfy one.
I'm so Chappelle.
Where's your cap?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I just thought that we would kind of talk about all of the things that happened here. Let's start with the smartphones.
There were a couple.
Were there?
One or two.
We're a couple dozen.
Do we want to start with the more surprising or the less surprising?
Well, that depends on your opinion of surprising.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
It's pretty objective this year. Well, you want to ramp up to the more exciting? You want to start with the less with the one that was sort of the
I'm
revamp?
actually not sure which one he's talking about.
You
Well,
guys are
keep saying
full of
one,
it.
So why don't we just segue into the
One.
HTC One M8.
M9.
As I almost messed that up.
Indeed.
Master over here.
Yeah. So what? To review the facts.
Review the fat. I like this.
A revised One M8. Attention, please.
I felt like I had to tap something.
The industrial design, very, very similar to the previous years. One M8 with an aluminum construction, boom sound speakers top and bottom, almost the same exact display, if not the same exact display at 1080p, 5 inches. Now has a lip, yes.
We'll call it a lip.
So the industrial design's been refined somewhat. Of course, the camera's been changed, but I think the ID is the key part. The visual, the fit and finish, the look. Oh my God! Wait, oh, you have an HTC phone. I have been asked. I'm carrying an M8 at this show, as you've seen.
Yeah.
Did everyone see that? Did everyone see how he took his phone out of there? Did everyone see that?
Starsky and Hooch here. Seriously.
This segment of the live stream brought to you by the LD West Original Holster.
Show me your side boob.
Yeah. Now you have worn this, and it was good for you.
No, summer's coming, and I don't like wearing pants, so I actually think.
Wait a second. So what is it that you do wear?
No pants.
No, but yeah, it's pretty clear.
Don't wear
Everyone's like,
pants.
that's your takeaway from this? It's like, all right. I still have my phone.
Are these Taipei specific things, like things that only happen in Taiwan?
Well,
am I really missing out?
No, the fashion in Taiwan, not last year. Last year was very popular with the pants, but the year before, no pants.
Oh.
That was the fashion.
Sounds like a country I should visit.
Yeah,
Sounds wonderful.
Well, yes, the ladies are worth looking at in this town.
But I've
There are
been.
no pants.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But I've been carrying this for all show, and I've at least 3 separate times from 3 separate people. People have been looking. Oh, is that the M9? And they get really excited because from more than 4 feet away, you can't necessarily tell unless you know what you're looking for.
The extra eyeball kind of gives it away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, the removal of the dedicated depth sensor and the square camera on the new one, the new colors, but even the colors, you have to be a phone guy or lady
You guys
to
were
see the difference.
briefed a lot more on this, but what is that? So I noticed that there's this crazy hump separation between...
the lip.
That's the lip.
lip.
Okay, so what's the purpose of that? Because it actually looks thicker. It makes the phone look thicker than the M8.
So the purpose essentially is because they're doing two-tone, right? So that they have like the silver on the back and the gold on the side. So there's kind of like this separation there. And then it's because everyone went, look, the M8 is a bar of soap. that
Right.
you walk around with and it slides out
like
of your
just
hand and everywhere, and it's just so slippery.
Almost falls all the time. Yeah.
That they've made an edge there, and then they've added almost a second edge. It's like they overcompensated for the criticism that it was a slippery phone. Now it's the most grippy phone on the market.
It's quite grippy. I called it the pinch. There's a pinch to it now, so it's
Well,
really nice.
Are we referring to the same pinch? Because there's now that the division between the back and sides is so sharp, it does give you that prick on the skin, and which encourages all the commenters in the world to say, "You should get rougher hands, you sissy." Okay,
You get those comments.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
get those
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we should give the phone to you because you're more manly.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, Nicole was the overachiever, telling us that the M8 doesn't slip downward; it slips into people's faces.
Right into their eyes. That's true. That only happened once.
But I want to say, like, the HTC also put on that different coating. You know. Oh, hey, a special
Wouldn't be a lifetime
guest.
without a Sasha appearance. Come on now.
Can I go there in the corner?
That would be great. I feel like this is great. This is exactly what happened at IFA.
Yeah.
Except at IFA, you came in with beers.
Yeah, not a custard
Yeah.
coffee. Come on, Sasha.
I have a nice little latte
Disappoint.
from the fastest coffee machine of the world. You know what? Actually, oh, sorry, I need a microphone.
yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure if they're using the Core i7 to heat the coffee up. Right? Or is it just because the delivery is very fast?
No, that would be the Snapdragon 810.
So what were you talking about?
We're at the M9 right now.
Talking about
Yes.
M9.
I can hold this if you want it. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about the M9, and we're at the design aspect right now. We haven't talked about the two-tone yet. It's we're hopefully going to see more colorations of it, but the gold is the main crux of the main version of it. Thankfully, not very. I was about to say not very subtle. It is subtle, thankfully.
Quite subtle,
Yeah.
to the point where if you're in a room with warm lighting, you can't always tell that there's a gold
And that
gold
was
side
like
rail and a
89%
silver
of
back.
frequencies for us. Was like,
Right? Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
gold?
You
I can't. What?
take it outside, and even the product photos, like I had to amp up the saturation just to be able to see the lineage. But yeah, subtlety. But subtlety is the name of the game with the entire redesign.
That's what I was about to say. It's not an offensive gold. It's not.
Not at all.
No,
Not
I
at
mean
all.
it's something that even I wouldn't mind using.
Quite neutral.
Design
quite
understatement.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it was there enough that I thought, I don't own any gold jewelry, right? But that's the first lady thing that I thought was like, well, if they're gonna go two-tone and it's maybe like a design thing, I just thought I don't like gold jewelry, right?
But then what
So that
would-
was my
Well, then what would a two-tone in this metal construction look like for you then?
for me, it would be like a black band on the side, or maybe like a black back with a silver side. Like I totally would have gone like high contrast.
So like
Or
BlackBerry
maybe-
classic style.
Yeah, like a BlackBerry.
Yeah, that would be
Respect.
interesting.
Why did you have to bring up BlackBerry here?
Because they launched a phone this
The show is going so well.
Oh, they did. They did
There's
launch
a
it.
new BlackBerry phone. And you know what?
Yes.
I was a Crackberry user for 4 years. I love the BlackBerry.
Same here.
right?
I was a big fan of the
The
BlackBerry.
physical keyboard was amazing. And you know what? I was in a mindset at that time. I won't let them talk about all their apps. They have no idea.
All their
I'm
iPhone
doing
stuff.
business on this machine.
Yeah,
Hello?
Yeah.
Getting
No, I had the
work
Pearl,
done.
I had the Curve, I had the Bold, the original.
The original Bold 9000.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I used to go into the AT&T store just to look at the Bold 9000 and be like, could I do it? Could I go back to BlackBerry? Could I do it?
I was an over.
Never
I was an
tried.
Well,
overachiever. I had
they have them on eBay for like $3 or $4.
Oh, now I can do it. It's terrific. I can relive 7 years ago,
Oh, yeah.
just like I always wanted.
After 57 bits.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you look at how many people have like, how do you, when you, it's an auction, right? So how do you, how many people have bid on the?
Oh, yeah.
the same person 9 times.
Yes. Did you guys get to see the new BlackBerry over in the
No.
I didn't. Miriam actually went for us, so she went and did the hands-on. I looked at it and I thought, if they'd launched that 4 years ago.
Yeah, and that's
It's
kind of the
like-
thing
it's
with it.
like, so they just launched the BlackBerry Classic, which resembles the old Bold, and now they've launched this new, pretty much BlackBerry Classic to resemble a Z10.
It's the classic version of the Z10. That's what you called it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
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 And, it's I don't know. I like the industrial design. I like how BlackBerry 10 runs on it. I mean, it's fine, but it's not targeted for markets that we talk a lot
So
about.
what's the point? I mean, like honestly, like can you really explain to me why they decided to launch this phone?
Because they have an office right here, and they want us to go. Check their place out.
Actually, someone booked a booth for them, and
I
they
know.
were like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should just get a phone together and launch it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they started to do this
It's
like 2 months ago.
You remember that phone that we talked about? Yeah, well, let's just put a prototype together and we'll take it there. Just to,
I feel we're really bashing a BlackBerry, but it's not coming from people that are actually hating them, but they were using them in the past, and we're talking passionately about a company that we used to love and that made amazing devices, but they completely missed the momentum.
You know, it's funny, but where I live in Latin America, in Guatemala, people still use BlackBerries like crazy. There are even black stores. They call them black stores, where you go buy. And it's funny because it's the same like prepaid card, but they call them the black cards. And it's just there's so much branding from BlackBerry, but it's really not BlackBerry per se. It's the carriers because of how popular it still is in a mid to low market now.
And they still have, even in the Western markets, very, very passionate users. Like about a year ago, I said, you know what, switch off the machines. Yeah, just don't do it anymore. Sell QNX to a proper car manufacturer. Really cash in on this because they're still ahead, of any kind of UI development on an automotive platform.
Yes. Yeah.
And please license the BlackBerry service system out because it's still the best out there. But don't produce any more devices. Just finally make some money.
Do you think there's any possibility of the rumor we heard years ago about Microsoft wanting to buy BlackBerry? I mean, do you think there's any kind of possibility of resurrecting that? Because Microsoft is making a big enterprise push with Windows Phone.
Yeah, but there's no company that needs BlackBerry right now. It would have been cool like 2 years ago.
Their patents. How many patents were there? It was in the thousands with all their infrastructure for.
Yeah, but quantity doesn't mean quality. That's the problem right now. We're talking about a lot of very, very generic patents, and I'm not really sure if you can actually use these patents anymore. Yes, they have a shitload of patents when it comes to these physical keyboards, and especially also in combination with the touchscreen device and all of this.
Oh,
so
and I believe
this is really quite interesting.
The push services that we currently use on smartphones, I believe, are still BlackBerry patents.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I even believe that Microsoft Outlook, the whole push email, everything that we've been using since 2007, all this is BlackBerry technology or BlackBerry ideas. And in the end, I guess, I don't know, Microsoft has been doing so many acquisitions lately.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
So basically, Microsoft is keeping BlackBerry alive. No,
pretty much
for paying license fees. No.
And I could be wrong, by the way. I'm not really sure, but I believe so.
Indirectly, the Android users that are paying license fees to Microsoft paying to BlackBerry.
Yeah.
That's how it's a cycle.
There has to be
a cycle of life.
There has to be a way for the company to keep itself alive because I mean nobody's acquiring BlackBerry Enterprise servers anymore. It's like you could just. No. I don't think it's happening anymore.
And you know what? Their BlackBerry Messenger is also absolutely fantastic, but no one's using it.
No.
Yeah, I experimented with using it at CES because I carried a BlackBerry Classic for a couple days at CES, and because BBM is now cross-platform, it was like everybody install this, we'll use it as a group chat, and it was great. It was excellent.
I really missed BBM, to be honest. I liked it a lot.
The rest of the time, if I wasn't using BBM because it was the BlackBerry Classic, the point you made before about the apps, like I didn't have anything to distract me from my work email. That's all I could do on the BlackBerry Classic.
Sometimes about Windows Phone, I'm super focused on what I'm doing, and then when I'm not, I'm super present with the people in the room, which is kind of nice with Windows Phone a little bit.
Indeed, and that actually parallels very nicely with something that's not at all related to BlackBerry and is yet another distraction from the 1M9, but I have to talk about it really quickly. I just saw a device called the Runcible this morning.
The what now?
The Runcible. And I think we are pronouncing that correctly.
And it looks like, and it doesn't look like it sounds, by the way.
I don't. All right.
You mean a spelling mistake? Is that what?
Okay. By the way, it's just the name is just. It's an awkward name, but the product has nothing awkward about it.
Okay.
It is really cool.
This is a device that is probably best described as an electronic pocket watch, except it's not. It is a fully self-contained smartphone that is roughly what would you say, about 3 inches in diameter?
Yes.
Completely circular. It has and with a completely circular screen and some beautifully crafted wooden backs to it.
So you put it in the pocket of a vest.
Yes.
It looks like a circular.
And they have accessories for the chain, and
It looks like
they
a
will.
circular Moto X Bamboo or Teak or any of those.
Now it runs. The reason that this dovetails nicely right now is because it runs on Firefox OS. So when I was asking about this, I was like, so what, I mean, Firefox OS, why? And they said, well, first of all, this is the only way we could design the product the way we wanted because we can customize the OS, entirely. But also, it's not a product you're supposed to do a lot of using on. It's a product that's supposed to keep you in the world, so it deliberately can't do that much. Which
was that the marketing pitch?
No. And by the way, there is no, like, these guys are so new, they're not new to the industry, but this business is so new. There's three guys, and they've built it together, and, like, they just...
One of them is, like, the designer of the PS4.
Sony, he came from
the
Apple.
original designers of a lot of the Xperias that we used to use, that we used to love.
I need to look up the company name. Keep talking.
Like the Xperia Engage platform, like when it was like awesome for gaming, like back then. Those were some sick industrial design.
I don't know, but it was so the guy is like, listen, the guy was talking, and I was like, okay, I clearly don't understand half of what he's saying. I clearly don't. I mean, the guy was just...
Oh, yeah, he was getting in-depth about constructing a completely customized mobile device. And it was... But I can't look up the company name right now because it's not... It's a very intelligently named company as well, so much so that I can't recall it. Because like there are it's like a play on words. But there are there are design concepts such that like you hold the thing up, and if you're in the camera mode, it does have a camera on the center line. When you rotate the device, that changes the focus of the camera. And to navigate the screen, you like swipe on the bezels, and it changes screen elements.
Would this be a circular that like would be female appropriate, or was it just?
It's totally. How do you say unisex?
Yeah?
Yes. You have to look at it.
Okay, I really want
to.
You
must.
I must.
If I talk any more about it, it will just be gushing. So I'll let you move on.
So we were talking about the M9.
Yes.
And did we finish? Do we feel like we finished with that? Because I feel like we didn't talk about the camera at all.
We didn't talk about the software at all.
The software.
Thank God we didn't talk about the camera.
It's pre-production. I keep on saying
this is the thing. Like, I feel like I had such strong opinions about the camera before, and then we were told that no, the software is not in any sense final. So now I can't.
But I'm always worried.
Me too.
I'm very worried because, whatever happened, whatever I saw on this market, if they're not going to change the module, the camera sensor, whatever kind of updates they were sending to a phone, it never really improved the quality of the sensor itself.
But the thing is,
the sensor's not bad. It's a Toshiba sensor. I believe Lumia's used Toshiba sensors, right?
But the thing is that during frequencies, there was an update during the event, and the camera was noticeably better after the update.
I did not try it out with that OTA because it came late.
Well, I didn't.
I tried it out.
Okay,
I
and
didn't
the camera
feel
was
like
better?
it really improved. I need to give more of a scrutiny, but did it really improve that much for you, though?
Well, because I remember that you took it was actually you took a photo of something, and I took the same photo, and I was like, oh, it's ridiculous. And you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. I was like, oh. And then you asked me if I did. It was you. It was actually you. And then you asked me if I did the over-the-air update, and I was like, no. So then I went and forced the phone to go find it, and after that, I thought, okay, this is moderately better. So there was like 2 or 3 updates during that 48 hours that we had the device.
I guess I don't remember doing the update at that point. I guess that's why. But
I seem to remember there were some complaints about the camera hardware chosen itself. Like 20 megapixel, great, but the combination of a 20 megapixel sensor with an f2.2 lens.
Yeah, 2.2.
When the phone we're about to talk about is an f1.9 lens on a, it's like, the low light. You're not going to be able to get a great low light experience from hardware of that sort.
But I thought that we decided that we were only going to take low light pictures in the form of a selfie because the ultra pixel is quite good.
And the ultra pixel is excellent, and it continues to be excellent.
Right,
it's a great selfie camera.
Yeah, that was a great move to move it to the front facing.
No, absolutely.
They
Yeah.
have the best front-facing camera.
And
Yeah, they do,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think regardless, I think we should give HTC some patience. I mean, the company's trying. They're making some bold changes, and the camera was the first thing we wanted to change from the M7 and the M8. Yeah. So I think the sensor is in paper good. Hopefully they figure out the implementation before launch, and our reviews will tell.
Not to bash them. I agree that we're looking at pre-production stuff, but I don't think that people have that patience anymore.
They really don't. Not now. Especially not now.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's exactly the problem that HTC is running into. I mean, we're talking about a camera, not only a camera. We're talking about a smartphone. Remember when even with the very first HTC One X, This was also a launch over here in Barcelona like 3 years ago when they launched the X, the S, and the V.
Yes.
I kind of
I
thought
still have the 1X. by the
I
way.
kind of thought, oh my God, you know, they're getting rid of all this fragmentation of having so many different devices. There's one flagship, one mid-range, and one entry level, right?
That was cool.
Yeah.
And then, I think like 6 weeks or 7 weeks after, they launched the next
Desire,
Desires,
yeah.
Another wave.
XYZ, whatever.
No,
So,
when
but
they
then
named
the
it SV, I was like, you guys just screwed it all up. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't name it Desire SV because now you're blending the two of them. It was so angry. All the microphones, all of them.
and then the one M7 came out, which basically changed the landscape for Android smartphones.
Yeah.
It was the very first Android smartphone on such a production level, on such a design level, where you could say, you know what, this phone will still look great in 5 years from now. It will still be iconic. But since then, nothing really happened for the average user, even for the HTC fanboys that are out there. There was, in my opinion, no reason to upgrade from the M7 to the M8, and there's no reason to upgrade from the M8 to the M9. There might be a reason to upgrade from the M7 to the M9.
yeah.
Because, you know what, just to ditch one generation.
Right.
Well,
the
the
biggest
camera
problem...
on the M8 wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
So the reason to upgrade would be the camera if they pulled it off.
Yeah. But the biggest problem that they are facing right now is, first of all, we're talking about a company that has a very, very limited marketing budget. Yeah,
Yes.
there's only one company on this planet that can sell their product with a limited marketing budget and through design, and that's Apple. Right? They're going material, design...
Would you call their marketing
marketing
budget
budget is-
limited, though?
No.
Not limited.
You know what? To be honest, they don't need to do anything because they're on every TV station where they are doing it all for free, and they're going to tell you this is the best design phone, and then just get Johnny Ive in front of this white wall and then just do the
Yes.
and then say exactly aluminium, and there you go.
That sounded so smart.
The
Aluminium.
problem is
Aluminium.
HTC just can't do this, which is a pain. Tells a lot about the industry that we're getting a lot of crappy devices squeezed into the market because of huge marketing budgets, and that those guys are struggling. So, in my opinion, they need to come out with something with a feature no one else has, and they don't have it.
But they tried that.
Boom sound.
They tried that.
You can even get it on a 199 Alcatel now.
Well, but not. It's not the same quality. It may be louder on the
It's
Alcatel, but it's
GBL.
I understand, but all right. Anyway, well, we'll see when we take them into the sound booth. But no, you're making a good point, Nicole. They tried.
They tried that.
They tried the feature that no one else has, the
tried the
dedicated
feature,
duo
dedicated depth
sensor.
of
Got an amazing
focus.
IR blaster, which is actually like the only.
Right, but that's not going to sell a phone. An IR blaster.
Control your
I guess
TV.
what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying. In my opinion, with the 1M8, when I did the After the Buzz for our website, is I feel that I'm getting more for my money here. I just wish the camera were better. If they nail the camera,
$749, the M9. $749, $50 more, and you get an iPhone 6 with 64 gigabytes. Good luck with this competition.
So then you're only selling it to people who have already chosen Android.
You know what? I don't want to complain about this. I think it's very unfortunate, and it's sad, and they need to figure it out. If they would sell the M9 for $499, right, it would sell. Just to give you an idea, on our German website, I didn't analyze on the analytics of it. The M8 is on position number 35, behind the Galaxy S2 and behind the Feiteng i9300, which is the Galaxy S4 clone from Shenzhen. That says a lot.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I agree that says a lot, but I don't know, and I'm not questioning your data. I just think that people, audiences can be fickle, and data can be, like, I cannot believe that did you say the M9 was?
The M8.
The M8 was in that position? It was one of the first phones launched in 2014, right? So it's had a whole year to just kind of get older and lamer, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing that there is that little interest in HTC's last flagship.
No. It's not about keywords. It's about the devices that they're using to get to our site. It's actually about the devices that are hitting our site. It's behind the Galaxy S2.
I didn't. Oh, jeez.
By the way, the OnePlus One, the OnePlus One is the fifth most popular device on our site.
And that
a
makes
company
sense.
that didn't really exist like 12 months ago,
Right,
which
but
is amazing.
That makes sense. They swooped in and they saw an opportunity and they were like, listen, we're going to sell this for a very low price.
the
It's gonna be a
pricing
pretty good
and what you
phone.
get for the pricing is just crazy.
Amen, yeah.
And the buzz around them as well. I mean, everybody wanted to know what the hell was going on with these guys.
You know, people. I think every episode of the PocketNow Daily, I just throw trash at them for all that invitation system. But what they did was they created so much anticipation from the market that people actually. It's like Apple when they launch an iPhone. I'm sure that they've got enough iPhones on backlog.
Always.
But for them, the buzz of so many people making a line to try to get one is actually good publicity, according to them, and it actually works.
The very people who are going to wait for an invitation and find a way to get one are the same people who would share that they got one and then got the device and talk about it on social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought the invitation system was a clever way of dealing with constrained supply.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you have no marketing budget, but just to get one Photoshop designer to do like 4 slides. That was their marketing budget.
Well, we're on the topic of HTC. I thought of a segue, and which kind of destroys the segue. But anyway, Sasha was saying that HTC needs that one feature that no one else has. Well, what if we talk about a product that perhaps nobody else has? They're moving into a connected area that includes something we didn't really think HTC was going to make.
Indeed.
Let's talk about the Vive. All right.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about the Vive, because we got our demos today.
We did.
I am the biggest skeptic when it comes to VR. I tried the Gear VR. I put it on. I said, "Oh, that's cool." Iron Man's. Nice. What's going on, Mary? I put on the Gear
Tnkgrl
VR,
is here.
and I thought, "Oh, there's a party now up in here."
Yeah.
I put on the Gear VR when it first came out with the Note 4, which I'm rocking at the moment, and I saw Captain America's shield in my face. That's pretty much all that I had, and I wasn't sure. But now with this HTC Vive, my eyes have been opened.
Yeah.
Yes, VR in this whole new way, total immersion. Not just that you're letting the world wash over you, it's that you're freaking a part of it.
And that is a very, very succinct and intellectual way to put it. When I put on that thing, when I
like making the Matrix real.
Yeah, but no. Like, it is the holodeck. Yeah, but like when I put on this thing, and part of the demo is you're like a mile underwater, and this whale basically swims past your face. I swear to God, my knees trembled, and my breath increased. And then the guy who's giving me the demo said, "Listen, you don't have to worry. It's not an aggressive whale." That's how immersive it is.
All right, here. So the demo area, now what we've been told is that the Vive is going to be completely wireless, including its controllers, the headset, even the laser pointers there.
No, the headset is still wired.
Explain it.
No, but the production unit is going to be a wireless solution, though. Those wires going into a PC are not going to be
They told
the
me
main
that
way.
Are you positive? Because they told me it was going to be a wireless
Well, I'm sure
solution.
both are possible. Sorry.
That the controllers are wireless, but the processing happens on the PC, not on the headset.
Well, their language.
It's not, because the PC is doing the processing for the headset.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
Their
so
language is a little
describe the
confusing.
room setup.
So the room was just a sterile room with one little stool in the middle,
Which is a problem we have to come back to.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're just kind of standing there, and they have to put it on you because obviously all the wires are going everywhere. It powers up. You have the headphones on. It says "Welcome" or something like that, and you start to walk around a little bit. He says, "Walk forward a few steps."
No,
and
but the first thing that happens is it powers up, and you're in a different room.
Yeah, no, you are. No, you are. Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
A holodeck. It's white with the grid, just like Star Trek.
Yes,
Exactly.
and as you walk around the room, if you get too close to the wall, the grid appears.
The grid appears. Yeah.
And you're like,
it was so amazing.
And then Morpheus walks into it. He's
Here's the pills. Well, what's great about that first
the
part
construct, yeah.
is that it ingrains into your brain in just the little amount of time that it takes that this is the boundary. This is where I'm going to be. It's video game design is what you're seeing.
Yes.
It's teaching you how to play the game before you even play it. And that's when the underwater thing happened.
But
yeah.
before any of that, he passes you the controls, and you're not supposed to be able to see anything because you can see you can
forgot
see
about
just
this
the
part.
virtual room, and he passes you the controls, and you see them floating in the ether. Yeah, and you're
But
like,
then-
oh, I know exactly how to grab
Did you
that.
notice how positionally accurate they were?
Yeah.
One hand with the other hand,
Yeah.
and I could feel like I could see exactly what I felt.
Absolutely.
Mind blown already when all of that happened. But then again, video game design teaching you how to play the game. He says press the button on the right controller. The balloon pops up, and he's like, and then my dumbass, he's like, you can touch it too, and I was like, okay. I put the controller down. I went like this. I was like, oh whoops. So I hit the button. The balloon comes up, and when you go like that, you hear that audible boop. and then it goes, and you're just, I made that happen.
Yeah.
and that was when the demo started up after that. And yes, the
Yeah.
whale, being
It was
able to.
mind-boggling. That's what I wrote. I said that my head was, we tried HTC Revive, and it blew our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kudos to Valve for putting that last demo in there. I mean, for goodness sake, knowing who their demographic is, I all of a sudden was a robot repairer in the aperture world of Portal. Oh my god!
That's right, it was Portal.
Yeah, it was
It
Portal.
was unbelievable. And then when you took it off, now is my question, because I took it off and we had a couple more videos to shoot. We had a couple more conventional things like hands-ons and accessories and stuff. I didn't want to do any of it. I felt like I had just been, frankly, I felt like I had just been high. You know, and
It was such a.
I immediately was into withdrawal. And Tane asking me, he's standing outside. He's been outside for a half hour while I've been inside. He's like, explain it. And I tried to describe it to him, and I legit, this is really nerdy, but I'm being serious. I got teary-eyed because I could not explain it adequately.
Can I?
I was also emotional afterwards.
Were you?
Yeah, a little bit. And I saw Dave Puddle, and I was like, Dave. And he like put his arm around me. He's like, I know, Nicole. And I was like,
It's the whale. It was the whale.
He looked at
whale.
his.
and then he goes, here, have some chocolate. I was like, okay.
Can I put into some possible words why we may have felt that way?
Please.
We've been doing this for quite a while. This work that we do. When was the last time you were that excited about a new product? When's the last time you actually thought to yourself, this is why you come here?
It's the best thing I saw. I mean, you know, I came for the phones, and I'm really glad I got what I got. But really, if I look at all of my Mobile Congress, what really defined it, what really blew my mind, what really made it special, was the demo.
Yeah,
No
we
doubt.
we
Yeah.
have this proclivity to be as impartial as possible, but when a product is able to break that boundary.
Sasha, we need to complain.
You know what? But he, I mean,
We didn't get to try it.
yeah. First of all, we couldn't try it, but I mean, I'm getting it 100% for. I mean, a virtual reality headset's been around like for almost 3 decades.
I'm not a believer, though. I'm not a believer.
Exactly. But and we had all these Oculus Rifts demos, and we did this on the Gear VR, and we're getting this. We know what it does, how it's tricking our brain with images right now. But now you're combining it with something that you can move around, that you can finally, for the very first time, you can move around. Guess what it does to you? I will give you an example. Mercedes-Benz is in their R&D center in Sunnyvale. They're using it for their new, for their cockpit design. They're using Oculus Rifts together with 3D cameras. So you're sitting in a cockpit, and you can see now that all the interior design popping up right in front of you. Plus, you also have all you can see your legs, you can see your hands, and you can touch things out of a sudden. And then this goddamn chair was moving around on 180 degrees. And like a minute or 2 minutes later, when they tried to get us out of this world anymore, again, I didn't know that it wasn't turning around. That my seat was turned around by 180 degrees. So I stood up, and the first thing was like, you know what? I'm just you know the other way around. Just, you know, I need to move, and I wasn't. Of course, I wasn't. Now I was just sitting there. Now you're moving around. Now you can see these objects, you know, passing by.
And you know, I told
This
Michael,
is getting this additional level of where this virtual reality is kicking in, and this is why you also have these problems when you're switching it off to adapt to the real world again. Out of a sudden, you're just not getting it.
I told you, it was like coming down.
took
Like I
it
took
takes
this
a
thing off,
minute.
and I was like, this is the world I have to go back to?
It's such a sterile room. So you take it off, and you're like, whoa, what's that?
Life sucks.
It's like, I was in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying?
and I was telling Michael, it's like, okay, this, because I think in marketing perspective, and I think in the business perspective, okay, how are you going to sell this? So people are now going to have an empty room in their houses just to play with that
I've already
thing?
made mine back home. I don't know about you.
and Michael was like, dude, this is so cool, so unbelievable, so beyond real. It's not even virtual reality. It's beyond virtual reality that I would be willing to leave the room open.
Yeah, I'd give it a room.
No,
yeah.
I'm gonna have a business around this where people can come to my holodeck, and then I'm gonna serve Star Trek snacks outside of it.
I'm gonna live there.
We're buying these empty former laser domes, right? And getting it's gonna happen.
What a
Think
massive
about this.
environment.
Totally.
You're creating these massive multiplayer laser dome things. You have like 4 or 5 of them in there, and those guys can interact in a room. This is gonna happen.
Oh, that is gonna.
Can I ask you a question? Like,
Yeah.
Okay. immersion is 9/10 of this experience, obviously. And did you get the warning from the person doing the demo? Like, if you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, if you feel nauseous or whatever the term is, just close your eyes and let us know, and we'll take it off. You didn't have that.
I did not get the. I didn't have that experience. I didn't get the warning.
You didn't get the warning?
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, this is the thing. Like, because I guess they thought I was feeling a little timid, that I was going to do this, and I was worried about how I was going to feel, because I got nauseous with Oculus. And what I realized is that I was really in that world, in the sense that when things happened, I was actually terrified of that rather than what the actual device was doing to me.
Sure.
Yeah, that was what got me the most about it.
You
when,
say-
when GLaDOS comes in from the portal world and looks at you, you're, oh God,
I'm like,
please.
I don't want to. It's almost like you're 6 again, and you're in like a haunted house, and you know it's fake. Your parents are telling you it's fake, but it's like, no, there's no way this is fake.
Yeah.
I would have told you the whale can smell your fear.
When the floor drops, you know, I'm like, wait, am I next? And I'm intellectually, I'm like, no, I know nothing bad is gonna happen because I know I'm in the VR world, but I'm like,
Your mind doesn't.
I'm like, oh fuck, this is not good. I don't want to look down.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know, and
All right, so I have one little housekeeping thing to take care of right now.
Oh.
Apparently, Intel may be taking down the network sometime soon, but it's fine because we're going to be recording all of this, and then it's going to be on the PocketNow weekly podcast.
That is correct. Yes.
Right at that moment.
So if you're watching the live stream and then suddenly we're gone, and you really wanted to know what we think, you can finish it up either on the podcast here, or we're also going to be uploading the rest of the video live to the Techlounge channel on YouTube. So you're going to get all of the discussion, but maybe you might have to wait a couple of hours for it to show up, or days.
Yes. Up to 24 hours, possibly on our side.
Possibly
but yes,
24 hours.
It'll be one of these websites.
Michael knows, like, we've got like 2 very bad skeptics at our website. Starting with Tony, number 1, and then it's me, the second one. It's like whenever new products come out, I saw the Gear VR, and I'm like, I'm not going to pay $200 for that.
That was Samsung.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay $200 for that. I'm like,
I wish
no.
there was a camera right here.
I'm like, no, I don't care about that. And then, you know, Samsung had their booth thing here, and they had a Gear VR, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a try. And if I was blown away by the Gear VR, up to the point where I am leaving this show and I'm going to look for one to buy. These are just products that you can't even describe in a review. You can't even describe here. These are products that you really have to test. Yeah. I did not think that the VR headsets were so well cooked. So I thought this is, how can a phone be immersive? How can that setup be immersive? And I just see myself, and I actually made an Instagram video of that because I look all crazy moving around with that. It was just so damn cool.
When I tried at IFA, they had a picture of Sydney, like a 360 something, and he was taken from a tower, and I'm so afraid of heights. So I put it on, and I looked down and said, holy shit, I took it off right away.
It was just so
crazy.
Cool that I'm like, okay, and I could get this now for my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. But again, viewers, you have to give these things a try. If there's a way for you to try a VR headset, do so.
One more thing. It takes companies like Samsung, like HTC, especially in cooperation with Valve, but also a company like Sony, to finally create the content for this. Because a lot of these things that we saw in Oculus Rift, a lot of the things that we also saw with the first Gear VR, was about content that wasn't designed specifically for with the VR headset in mind.
Yes. Right.
What we will see, what HTC will be capable of doing with Valve. Now we have a game publisher. If they are going to create software specifically for this headset, it will be crazy. Yes. And those are the enablers. Think about a company like Sony with this huge movie distribution channel. Yes. If they are starting to create movies for this, and I can just, walk around the actors, right? Or I'm gonna watch a Japanese 2016 version of The Ring. Good luck with that. I don't even want to know how many people are going to die with the headsets on.
Heart Attack City, right immediately.
When Samara's hand comes out just right in your face.
But it's become sort of you know, a cliche to describe the world of something, but you said it before and it struck me. That when I took off the thing, I felt like I was leaving a world and I immediately wanted to return. Despite the fact that we had maybe 7 or 8 disparate demos with totally different design languages, it was totally different subworlds.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to stay in there. It did. It flavored.
And I think the other thing, like, if you, like, so you had a good experience with Gear VR. My experience with Gear was okay, but not mind-blowing. If VR is SD, this was like 1080p HD. Like in terms of the not just the resolution, but the I think they nailed it with the frame rate. The 90 hertz, like the white, no whites were flickering at all anywhere.
I mean that's a PC that is 10 times faster than the Snapdragon.
On the Gear, there is that video of you flying around in a helicopter around the city, and every time I looked at the sky, I'm like flick, 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 flick. I'm like, fuck no. This is, I know I'm not in, I know it's fake, right?
We're talking about a desktop performance PC, right? And with some proper graphics cards.
It clearly looks like 2 graphics cards driving 2 screens at 1200 by 1080, right?
No, I guess, and I get your point. I mean, we've got to go complain. I mean, why didn't we get a chance to try the Vive? But that being said, I don't feel that the Gear VR is undercooked. I guess my impression of everything that Samsung makes, and that's probably a segue, is that this was going to be undercooked. And then I give it a try, and I'm like, wait a second, this is really not. I would pay for this.
Yeah.
Well,
I would totally pay for this.
I just want to say one last thing on the Vive, and I will hand the mic over.
Well, and then I will follow that up with one last thing.
Okay, I'm calling it. Okay, I'm calling it. Valve is a company that a lot of people believe in. I believe in them. When I heard the announcement, I thought Valve, something good's gonna happen. They
deliver.
Yeah, they deliver. They definitely do. I'm calling it. We haven't seen Half-Life 3 for years because this is how they want you to play it.
Oh man,
This is how they want
I would not doubt that at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
You are right.
Understood.
Hashtag bold statement.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that is. I just realized that like a minute ago, and I have been blown away just this minute.
And if you want to play Counter-Strike, you don't even need the room because there's so many campers out there. They can just sit down and play.
You're in your corner of your room just like this.
But
Just to end the comment with HTC. I think it's a smart move that they're diversifying into other types of hardware.
no, okay, most definitely. Yeah.
But I have to say I don't approve of the because when you came out and said revive, I was
call
like,
it. So I just went with their message.
but it's funny because in the Freak sessions they weren't committing to it.
Right.
But then I was really sad when you said revive. I was like, no.
No, in the releases and stuff, they're calling it the Vive.
I think that one thing to keep in mind is that I mean HTC needs to look for the next big thing, right? I mean they are not like, and phones are not the end game, right? Like everybody's got to look for something else, right? Phones
It's the end game already. I mean,
right,
look at
well,
them; they
that's what
all
I
look the
mean, but
same.
It's not the ultimate, and like, I mean, there's more coming, and it's not going to be in form factor, right? So
like, I mean,
and they're not doing. I mean, they're doing good, but they're not. We know they're always going to be an underdog. This might make them the leaders.
Absolutely, and so we didn't see it happen with the the
see it
first, or
happen
we
with
haven't
the Re.
yet, and we probably won't. And then their wearable was kind of like, okay, well, I don't know, fitness with it. And then they showed it to us a little bit earlier. They showed the concept a little earlier, and we're like, hey, we'd like to experience it because I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
Like, just wait,
You're
just
not
wait.
using your words properly.
Right, and so we got like basically 30 minutes of just wait and see when you can see it. And we're like, okay, whatever. And then that made me even more of a skeptic. And this was the point that I'm going to end on with regard to the Vive, because I have never cared about VR. I was like you, so I went into this with ridiculously low expectations.
You wanted me to go, and he's like, go in. You do it.
Yeah. So,
You
but
do it.
I,
And I'm like, no, wait a
but
second.
that's
You're the guy
just
that was at
that's
Frequency.
just that's
You go.
it's only to say that I need, obviously we all need to try it out for much longer to render any sort of useful opinion about it.
He's got them addicted. I saw this. We need to try it out for much longer.
This is true. I need to be in that world for at least 13 straight hours.
You know what? But isn't this cool? I'm so underwhelmed by the HTC One M9. I think the grip is just, oh, okay, yeah, I hear you. I'm wearing a $15 Mi Band, yeah, and we charged it for the last time 7 days ago. It had 89% of battery life left. Eat this. This is a wearable. And now they're really ending on the best high, in my opinion, that they've ever had. This is something that keeps all of us very, very excited about this company, and this is how you need to end the show, and nothing else.
Yes.
Don't forget about this phone. This whole market is in a dead end right now. In terms of the development, what else shall happen, right? It's a centered display, a multi-touch screen display, faster processors, higher resolutions, better cameras. That's happening to this market. This is something brand new, taking it on the next level. Finally, someone is getting virtual reality right. And I'm glad that this is HTC and not another company, because I wish them all the best for this.
Agreed.
So Miriam and I actually sat down for a solid 30 minutes and hashed out the vibe, like really, like each demo, going through it, all of that. So if this wasn't enough, if all of these words that everyone's been gushing at the Vive wasn't enough for you, you can actually check out Miriam and I gushing over it for 30 straight minutes.
We understand that right now all you're hearing is.
I'm pretty sure that in these 60 minutes, we filled up Jeff's notebook for marketing phrases, right? Seriously.
Yeah.
It's just a scrambled list of letters. No.
Michael Fisher, new crack.
Just done. Drop the
But
mic.
we have to talk about the Edge,
Yeah.
the S6 Edge. I mean, we have to.
Well, the S6 and the S6 Edge, right?
It's
Because
still. So I went back to play with the S6 because Josh was like, "Seriously, Nicole, how can you not be excited about this?" And I was like, "Fine, Josh, I'll go look at it some more."
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. It's a cool phone. It's a
cool.
cool phone. Be cool.
Bro.
It's the metallic Galaxy S5.
The metallic Galaxy S5.
no,
It's
no.
like-
It's like
There's so much more to it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm a Samsung hater. You guys know this. I'm an HTC lover and a Samsung hater. I mean, you can kind of simplify it that way. And I'm blown away by the 6, and this, particularly the 6 Edge. And it's, for me, a lot of it is the camera, the display. I mean, that display. Not only did they make it a quad HD display that was, 5.1 inches, which is incredible density, but and they made it AMOLED, and it's perfect. And they curved it, just because, we might as well just go all the way out. Because I thought, honestly, when we knew the rumors of the Edge, I thought, well, they're going to make that one 1080p, because there's no way they can do the curve. I'm like, there's no way they can do the curve on a quad HD. Nope, screw you all. Here you go, bitches.
Yeah, I mean, it's glass heated to 180 degrees.
800 degrees.
They were not enunciating at the press conference then.
You know what?
The camera is the thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, the camera is really what really got me over the edge. I mean, TouchWiz I hate, and they've lightened it a bit. But I can live with all that when I see what that camera can do. My video is posted. I have no article for it yet, but the video is up. And check it out on Mobile Geek's YouTube channel right now. There's a video of me walking through the camera interface, and it's just mind blowing. Like to me, the f/1.9, I was like, really? How did you do that?
Absolutely.
How did you do that? Because nobody's done it before except for Nokia on the 735 and 720, and that's like a mid-range camera without OIS.
And when you look at the Galaxy S, the only device that kept me excited about the Samsung was, the newest Galaxy Note, right? Because I think the Note turned into the flagship device over the last 2 years.
Definitely.
The Galaxy S4 was boring, the Galaxy S5 was boring, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting all of this.
Note,
It was all happening on this one. The S6 and the S6 Edge, it's for the very first time after 2 years, a real flagship phone again.
Yes.
They, in terms of the specs, in terms of the design, in terms of the build quality, the whole package is the best package you can get with Android running right now. And especially the camera it's going to be a real competitor. So, and they're the first ones to get OIS into a 5-inch form factor. Right, and also with the software features, right? There was
the 930.
the LG G2.
Or are you confining it to Android?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
The
yeah.
G2, okay, the G2 had it. It was a 5.2 inch, but still, if you compare the G2,
Nexus 5 had OIS.
When OIS had it in the M7, right? That had optical stabilization.
Stop that! You're proving me wrong right now. I want to stay with a statement.
4.7
Stop it.
inch
We need
on
to change the
M7.
topic, right?
I think
You're thinking too much.
I think we've had this discussion with Josh yesterday. I've been testing this phone recently, and it's just such a disappointment. Android, when it comes to cameras, and I had a lot of expectations over this N3, and so far. So yeah, probably that's the only reason why I could be excited about the S6. But
we took a sample shot on the show floor with the Galaxy S6, and it was of
So hard to say, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It was of Jaime's head. and it's great. There's a lot of texture to it, and so I pinched a zoom on Jaime's head, and I'm having a look, and to the point where it looks like the side of a planet, it's like that close. No, and like he's got this wonderful salt and pepper thing, as all the viewers can see, and I could see every hair, but more importantly, there was no noise surrounding it at all.
There you go. See,
because you know what, the 1.9 gives you that almost like an extra the 3 times more light or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like night and day.
And this was trade show floor lighting. It wasn't terrific.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why the iPhones were always so popular.
Yeah.
Because the ease of use, right? I'm just taking the iPhone, bing, it's in focus, bing, it's in focus. I'm just shooting it like in half a second. And what Samsung also did with the software, like the double tap here on the home button, 0.7 seconds. I'm on the OnePlus One, and I was just close to just to break it all over my knee because so many times that I missed a shot. Because it's so slow.
because you don't know the gesture in the lock screen.
No, never mind. But
And it was showing on live stream. It took him got them 3 seconds to get this app up.
And then wait a second, and then you're carrying a Note 4, Josh.
Okay, well that was where I wanted to
he
go.
was so embarrassed.
No.
We were
Well-
like 1,000, 1,000.
Well, so last night, I was hanging out with these guys, and my OnePlus One died. So I had a bunch of phones in my bag, and I said, okay, I'll go to the Note 4. It'll be nice to revisit Samsung's cameras to see what we're going to find out. What we're going to get in the next one, in the S6. I have to say, all of you are saying are right. This is one of the best cameras on this ecosystem, and it's incredible. I love this thing.
It just got bumped by the
It just got
GS6.
better,
That
yeah.
is like wow.
Yeah, exactly. Having a I always use a Lumix GX7 when I go out, and I love having the depth of field and everything like that. This is at 2.2 on this one.
Have you seen the Honor 6 Plus? I should show you.
No, I have it, and it's really great, but it's so fake. What I want is the S6's 1.9 at manual focus.
Oh, yeah, for
And that's
sure.
exactly what I can't wait for, because the
There is
pictures
manual focus on the camera UI.
on yeah, there is.
On
Yeah,
the GS6
exactly.
and
That's what I
S6.
can't wait
So
for.
there you go.
And this camera, over the last just 18 hours, I'm already back in love with this phone. I've reconverted, actually. So because the camera has been doing such a good job for me, and video is what I would need the most. And the video capabilities on either side of this is
Amazing,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about the S6, and it's not just because I actually think its design is really great now, and I'm really looking forward to handling,
I think I know you guys have
Android
already
phone.
covered the M9, but I think for me, honestly, in terms of design, I still think the M9 wins. Like feel in hand is unbelievable.
It is,
yeah,
there,
it is.
But they freaking so failed with the camera. It's not even funny. F over 2.0, 20 megapixels with now.
Isn't it 2.2? Or is it,
I think it's 2.0. Okay. It's
2.0, I think so.
but it's the lack of OIS, and I know they're gonna polish the software and it's gonna work out fine, but it's like, why don't you not like the fact that they missed OIS and Quad HD on that
Plus
phone?
the M9 is quite a thick phone. I would expect to have
exactly.
OIS
And then they
in there.
complain that it doesn't have room for OIS. 'Cause,
Jesus,
like-
you have the
like-
thickest flagship phone on the market for years. And you know what? It's getting thicker and thicker. From each and every generation, from the M7 to the M8 to the M9, it got thicker.
It's true. But the
Now
battery
it's-
the battery life's
now
getting
it's at-
better though.
it's
The M7
Now it's
M7 battery life.
9.65 millimeters.
something like that? Yeah, it's 9.7.
Well, before we go back to belaboring over HTC, I do want to ask you guys the features of the Edge. Are you actually going to use it?
No.
Oh no!
Then that's why I like the S6
It
more.
looks good.
No, wait a second. What
sexy.
features? What features?
Well, they got the
What
ticker
so
and the favorite
okay,
contact.
so
and
they-
so
they
the
were-
Japanese import cartooner on the bottom that you can see who's calling you because it's glowing underneath.
Dude, it's like so. I have the Galaxy Note Edge, and it's not that I find the features useful. I'm trying to understand why Samsung completely ditched almost everything for the S6 Edge.
I tell you why. Because there was
Nobody
no
was using-
value to it.
Nobody was
and
using it.
this is just a cosmetic gimmick that's going to get people in stores to spend extra money on something that distinguishes Samsung from the competition iPhone. And boom, that's exactly what that's
And
about.
all of
That's
that right
all.
there is the reason why we had this conversation so many times now. I very much prefer the S6 over the S6 Edge. I would rather
Agreed.
pay for the features that I'm going to use than the ones I'm not. I'm not going to pay all that money just to have.
But that's the thing. Okay. So
Edge feels better in hand though.
I don't agree.
disagree.
I don't
I
agree.
disagree.
It feels better than the Note Edge did because that was asymmetrical
Surely.
and weird.
The Note Edge looks
But
like-
to
What's
me, the
price
S6
difference?
is
What's the price difference
they
then?
haven't mentioned it.
No.
They haven't mentioned it.
Probably at least $100.
yeah, at least got to be at least 100.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm going like this whole time.
Yeah, no.
You know what? It feels much better in your hand when you're just turning it around.
Yeah.
Right? I just,
Or the Edge.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah, upside down. It feels great.
Yeah. I think they totally kind of built it backwards, where like the display maybe should have been on the other side, because like the curved part feels really good in your hand. But that's the thing I'm most curious about for the review, is that if the display is towards my palm, then the device is more protected, right? Like maybe when I carry it in my hand, it's more protected. But I'm not sure if I have a use case for palm, like display in.
But it's not really more protected because it's Gorilla Glass 4 on both sides. So I mean, there's going to be no.
But I can smash the back only and not the front.
Sure.
I don't know. That's do next. They need to do the S6 Edge Prime, which has a display on the back that's flat and an edge display on the front.
I want 3 edges. I call it the prism.
So probably the question that I have left is, did you guys see any screws on that phone?
I don't remember.
There was a big aftermarket with the iPhone to be able to replace the back that always got shattered to everybody. Yeah. But what would you do with the Galaxy S6 to replace that back?
Send it back.
Get a hot gun. You got to get a hairdryer on that thing and melt all that.
Right.
Yeah. Pop that back.
Send it back and wait a month.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Wait, can we talk about the finish? Can we talk about how how reflective? I've never seen a material that reflective.
It was so smudged, it didn't reflect anything.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. No, but when I held it, I felt like I was holding like a component from like a space station solar panel or something like that.
Okay,
because
Mr.
it was
Star Trek.
bouncing light back in my face so hard.
Okay.
There's going to be no way to keep that thing clean, and people. The first thing they're going to do is slap a case on it, and then why did you spend the money on this?
Well, that's why the color is translucent. So it's like, oh, the color is not smudged; it's the glass.
When they develop a phone market for the VR universe, where you buy your phone in your VR universe to use in front of you inside the VR universe, because you'll need a phone, right? Everybody needs a phone. Then it will be perfectly clean all the time.
This is true.
It's just
You've sold.
And you'll be able to revisit old phone designs with new UIs. You'll be able to go like, I want a correct, done.
Yeah, but then
completely emulated in the virtual world.
Well, then the VR developer just gives you like a potato.
And so, does that special Gear VR work with the 6 Edge?
There's an updated version of Gear VR for the S.
But only for the 6 Edge, not the Edge.
Oh, not the Edge. Oh, yeah.
So the curves don't work with.
No, I need to get the S6. The S6 Edge looks great, but I also want to get the updated Gear VR because I would really love to. Especially when you're on a 12 hours flight, Screw the infotainment system. I want to get all this stuff on my Gear VR.
You are
That's
so
it,
right.
And then nice noise cancelling Bose headset on there, and
you are
let's
so
right. And now watch one of these thrillers, you know, with the airplane crashes and all of this.
Perfect.
This gives you a virtual reality kick.
And you hit turbulence, and you're like, perfect timing. Awesome. Wait, I have a question though. What does it do to battery life? Does the Gear VR give you extra battery life? Does it have integrated power?
No.
So, all right, can you plug the device into power while it's in the Gear VR?
So you snap a battery on top of your head.
12,000 milliamp hours right here.
Is that a yarmulke? No, it's a battery.
No, I'm just a nerd.
Yeah, right.
I think it's also $200 then. Yeah.
The battery pack?
No, for the VR. So we're roughly talking about $900 for the package. $699. No, wait. Right now we have 32, 64, and 128 gigs.
Right.
Internal memory. No micro SD card. I would be fine with a 32 gig. The Gear VR. Then you have a $900 kind of virtual reality setup. But just trust me that to get back to the HTC solution, this will be, I would guess at least.
Oh, how much it would cost?
To get the whole setup with the PC that can run this, I would guess like $2,000 to $3,000.
Yes. Talking about the Vive?
Yeah.
But you know, I've been thinking, it's like right here, we go to the press room, and years ago it was difficult to see people with a Retina MacBook Pro, for example. It's a $3,300 computer. Yeah. But now I see everybody with one. It's like it's becoming common for people to spend that much amount of money in something that's that good, you know, especially for our needs for video rendering and stuff. I don't know. I think that product is just so cool.
You should be scared when the first one in the press room is just getting the sensors in the corner and just building all of this room up, right? And it's doing his gear. getting into the virtual press room. Right?
As if it wasn't crowded enough already.
Imagine a virtual reality video editing solution, you know, where you can take clips from one place
Man,
to
this
the other.
world is so
Minority
cool.
Report.
I don't want to take work into it.
Okay,
you know
fine.
what I mean?
That's
Like,
fine.
I only want to have fun in this world.
You know what?
Wait a second. So you will not dress up as Iron Man in this?
Oh yeah, but no. Yes? No? I don't know.
You know what? I had a company in here today for the stream. They're called Uvu. This is a video chat for the generation millennium. They have like 200 million users. Like each and every day, they're adding in between 100 and 200,000 on top of it. Now they are together with this WheelSense technology from Intel. This like 3D camera that you can also see on the Dell tablet. Right? What they can do with it, they were showing us a video. I've never seen anything like this. It was like kind of powered by James Cameron for Avatar 2. Ooh. Yeah, you remember this webcam from Cyberlink, or this kind of applications where you can just the overlays and whatnot. And now they have these overlays with like 500 points in your face, and they can put all kinds of characters on top of your face. You can look like anyone. It looks like a goddamn Hollywood production.
Really?
Right? And this will go into a smartphone for $119, right? With the new Atom generation and tablets and whatnot, and into Ultrabooks. What you can also do with it, we saw a conferencing system, which is called Personify. So the 3D camera you can change the background. Even when you have movable objects in the background, it looks like you're sitting in front of a green screen, but you don't need the green screen because of the 3D camera. So you can just think about this, right?
Sure.
You're having a nice conference call to a company, right? And you think, oh, maybe our conference room doesn't look fancy enough. So you changing this into a Donald Trump Tower, Central Park view, conference room, and then you have three other guys, and you're turning one into Robert Downey Jr. and the other one into Lady Gaga, and you're saying, by the way, they're also on our boards of directors, and they want to tell you how cool our product is.
You know, I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to reinforce my own stereotype, but they totally did that on an episode of Star Trek.
Really?
In like 1998, and I thought it was too far-fetched. I was like, no, not even in the 24th century. This BS.
And going back to the case of game, so what is the price? Going back to the pricing thing, what is the price of one of those Dell those computers that are for gaming? The
Alienware ones?
The Alienware ones.
Oh, well, it depends on which one you want.
But you know, the top of the line gaming computer. How much do they cost?
The towers, I have no idea. I have no idea how much the towers cost, but last year at IDF we saw for $3,500 the highest performing PC, that desktop thing, that tower thing. That was $3,500. So that's top of the range now, $3,500.
So that's what people are willing to pay.
You can get $6,000, $7,000 or $8,000 PC if you really want to get into it.
So if that is the price tag of a gaming PC, I do believe that there is a market that's willing to pay $3,000 for the Vive.
Absolutely,
I do believe.
Yeah, no question.
If Valve is releasing the killer game that you can only exclusively get on this, right? And they will roll it out. They go into GDC with it, and everyone is telling them, you know what I just saw? They're telling a new story here without the whale and all of this stuff, but with the real game. I think about racing games and all of this shit. Think about GTA 6. In such a world. Oh my goodness.
Man.
That was your example.
We were talking about that. I was talking about I was actually Gran Turismo, but GTA, yeah.
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be
think about
amazing.
Gran Turismo on that.
Yeah.
I only played GTA. I haven't played Gran Turismo.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a car racing game. I mean, imagine you're in the cockpit of the F1 car, and you're going, and you're really driving, and you look around you, and you can see the guy that's about to overtake you in the mirror, and behind you,
and you go pit stop, and you see everything happening.
Yeah.
For me, it would be a flight simulator. I mean, that would be look great. You know, you got the bubble canopy, you just see everything all around. Like, look out the window. Oh, there's 35,000 feet down. Yes.
Or space stations or whatnot. You know, it could be whatever.
Anything.
I would love it.
No, we're not. We're done talking about the Vive, right? I was about to talk about.
Back around?
Yes.
It totally came back around.
It really did.
It just tells you know what, I can't remember in the last 10 years anything that got people so excited.
Yeah.
Nothing. Forget about the launch of the iPhone. I'm getting it. Yeah. Okay. We were all like, okay, so they put some icons on a touchscreen. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. And now they do a phone. Yeah.
You can scroll.
You can scroll. And they invented something magical called multi-touch, where Nokia filed the first patents in the late 70s already, right? So, it's magical, right? So when you you're a tech-savvy person, this was, yes, it was a cool keynote. You could kind of guess what Apple would do to the ecosystem and how it's going to steer it up. But there was nothing like this right now. And this is coming from a company, I would have never expected anything like this from HTC. Nothing like this. It gets everyone excited. And once again, you know what? They're ending on the biggest high they've ever had.
No, but
You got to make a couple of calls, Sasha.
No, but here's the thing though. Like we had to do a 30-minute sit down on it because we both did the demo and we're like, and I was like, hey, do you want to write the article? And you were like, no, I don't want to write the article. What words do I use for this? And so like it's a product that I don't know, unless you're watching us right now gush and come back to it, how is HTC going to get this across? They knocked it out of the park, but their marketing is already a bit revive. And like, how is this going to move forward?
To the
Is
point
my
where
question.
I mean, you guys were at Frequencies, and the fact that you were at Frequencies and you were not overly excited about trying it was like,
says a
okay,
lot.
it
It does
says
say
a
a
lot,
lot,
and
yep.
it worries me. It worries
You know what?
me.
It worries me about their marketing pitch. That's what worries me about
Because
this.
Yeah, 'cause they've
there's a
never been
problem-
great at that.
There's a problem with, sorry to interrupt, but there's a problem with marketing complexity. You guys have you ever seen the movie Cloud Atlas?
No.
You know that that's an independent film because no studio was willing to acquire the rights of it because it was so complex to market that they had no clue how to sell it. And so right now you have a product that is so complex to explain to people that how are you going to sell it?
Well-
Marketing has to be simple.
You know who's selling it? Us.
Wait,
Yeah, because no, seriously, they
Where
turned
are
us,
our review units?
they
Review
turned us
units.
into the biggest ambassadors and multiplicators for goddamn free. Each and every person that's going to try it out will be an ambassador for this.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
to everyone about this. By the way,
Sure.
I'm the one in my network here with my 3,000 Facebook followers, blah, 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 blah. I tried it, by the way, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you
but there's one thing you have to keep in mind, right? Like the whole thing is right now a dev kit. And it's not going to be out for a while. Like, although they moved pretty fast to get to this point. Remember, the reason that they couldn't show it to the frequencies and stuff is because GDC hadn't started. This was the GDC demos coincided with the Mobile Congress demos. They couldn't really give it to anyone early because it's too much of a risk. So this is a GDC-focused thing we just happened to see at Mobile Congress. Even the demos were labeled GDC, if you remember. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's a
right.
developer-centric device for now. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be hard to market, but I have a bit of time to figure it out and think about how they're going to market it. And you know, I mean, HTC marketing has always been a little broken, but Valve's marketing hasn't. So, you know, I think there's some potential there.
I think this experience area just needs to be put in as many places as humanly possible, so that everybody
yes.
can see it for themselves.
But then that still doesn't solve the problem.
Airport
is great.
lounges. I would go all in on airport
But it
lounges.
still doesn't solve the problem of yes, you're selling, say, call it $3,000, right? You're selling that, and if you get people over that hump, then you have to get them over the following hump of something we touched on before, which is, all right, now how much more am I going to have to pay in rent once I throw out my roommate so I can use his or her room for this?
Well, that's what
Because that's the thing. Like, you need room.
Well, we're talking about it as if there isn't already a demographic that's going to buy into it right away, and there is. Valve's ecosystem has millions and millions of users, and they're all going to jump in.
Well, yeah, no, but these are users who need what currently this amount of space, a tabletop to use the technology. This requires a portion of a room, like legit.
Half-Life 3. Michael, I'm just Half-Life 3.
Put away your living room table, okay?
What are you doing in your garage
No,
anyways?
I'm getting a Murphy bed. That's what I'm doing. Gaming time.
No, but I do agree. There's going to be a rather steep entry curve to get into it. Yes, but you know what? For someone when they have that killer app, that's going to eliminate that curve. Everyone's going to be okay. I have to make this happen for myself. That's what they're going to say.
Could you just imagine, right? You have people coming over, and you have a room with a signed holodeck, right?
Yes.
And you're just opening up this room.
It's funny.
You know what?
Forget about the damn pool
And
table.
you know what?
Your room with a holodeck.
And I would,
yeah.
I would repaint it in black with this
With the green
stripes.
grid on it?
Oh
Absolutely.
my God! Getting them in there, said, okay, you know, get prepared. Right.
And then they put it on and everything's white.
Yeah.
It's like,
You
okay,
don't
perfect.
need any drinks
And then
tonight.
What do you do? What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
No, seriously. Now this is possible. Right?
Yeah.
You could do that. And guess what's going to happen when these guys are coming out of this room, right? Okay, you have a problem because they will standing in front of your doorsteps like each and every day. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. Like, hey, can I come over? Well, I don't even know you, man.
Just real quick, you guys are using holodeck. I'm saying Dreamatorium. Okay, I don't know if anyone watches Community. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Right? Oh,
no,
you don't.
I'm
you
just
don't.
going with
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm talking about. I want all the viewers to hashtag Dreamatorium there.
Holodeck.
Yeah.
Hey, holodeck it is. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm the youngest one in the room, so I'm not surprised about this. I'm the youngest one in the room. I'm not surprised
Can
at
you
this
imagine
right now.
yourself just tripping over the toilet seat or something because you walked all the way into the bathroom using
So,
that
look,
thing?
don't know, because the grid, it's like,
Yeah.
How dangerous this could be. You're playing for 10 hours, you're so in this world, and out of a sudden in this game there's a restroom. You know what, seriously, I see some problems with this.
Me
We
too.
need to be very
just broke Nicole.
That's my cereal, man.
Who's building this game?
I have a room for this and I want to do this. Seriously,
I do
I just
too.
can't wait to
Yeah.
have this.
Actually, what's
This
in
would
my
be
room?
amazing.
I have an 8x8 room in my office, and it houses my sound booth. And that
TARDIS.
sound booth already has the door label, the next generation door label on it that says holographic environment simulator. So I just need to repurpose the room. That's all.
Wait, no, you know what? You rent a storage space for 15 by 15 by 15 storage thing. As long as there's power in there, you just leave the gear all set up and ready to go.
And a lock on the door, because I wouldn't know. You don't know anything going on in the real world.
Or you could send your roommate to the storage room. It's either way.
Remember, what was it? Was it Snow Crash? He lives in a storage room, remember?
Oh, yeah. No, totally. It's doable. Are these the...
I did a podcast once at CTIA in Florida, in Orlando, where me and Chris Ziegler podcasted this until they took the walls down. Literally,
They literally are
at
taking
one
the
point-
lights down out
at
there.
one point,
Yeah.
literally, we're sitting in there with in one of those little office meeting rooms, and they're like the walls came off, and they let us work. We had a wired connection, and the guys were really cool. And then at the end, we're just like forklifts are going around us while we're podcasting. I'm not shitting you. This is true. This is gonna happen here. It was an audio podcast.
Oh, video would have been so cool to see the time lapse of just
This is like 25 years ago. You weren't born, Mike.
whatever, man. I listened to that one.
It's just a podcast of you sounding like you're getting taken.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have to wrap it up because they are kind of taking things down.
Yeah, the
and
ladders are out. Yeah.
I have no idea if we're still broadcasting live, but regardless, you'll be able to find all of this on the internet. What is it? YouTube/Techlounge. We're going to be uploading this here. This is actually the PocketNow podcast.
Number 138,
Number
I think.
138.
Yes. At PocketNow.com.
What about your intro, your fancy intro?
I'll record that later. And then I got to pimp the LD West as well. Don't worry, it'll be in there. No worries. And that's where I'll tell everybody who has been on the show and where to find them as well, including strange pictures of Josh Vergara wearing the Vive.
Hashtag Vive selfie.
You know, we just can't stop, right?
Right.
The Vive made it.
Yes, we can't.
It's coming back again and
Again
again
and
and
again
again.
and
It's-
again.
It's in a loop.
Yeah.
And once again, it tells you about the impact of this device and about of this technology. It's not stopping.
Like you said like an hour ago, this is the most exciting thing about the show for a lot of us, bar none.
And this is Mobile World Congress. We should talk about phones, man.
I know. People are going to eviscerate us for not covering the
should
wearables or
try.
anything like
I
that.
underestimated the technology for years, ever since the first Gear VR or whatever's happened. But after seeing this guy walk out of there, listen, I think I got the experience more from the guy's face than the fact that I wasn't able to test it, because this guy was like, "Wait a second, let me just sit down." He's like, "Hold on, I need to explain it to me." He's like, "I can't." I can't.
Yeah.
The religious experience.
That's where we
How do we
were.
write this up? I don't think it. I mean, especially since Mobile Geeks is primarily a video blog. I'm like, you know what? I'll just do a thing for the embargo that says this blew my mind, and here's some pictures of the headset, and
Come and watch our
and
video.
watch our video because we did probably 10,000 words of writing by talking about it for half an hour, right? So.
All right, so the hot topic of MWC 2015 was a virtual reality headset from HTC. Who knew?
Who would have thought?
None of
Just
us.
4 weeks ago, right?
None of us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we all did a pre-MWC podcast together, and none of us talked about the Vive.
Nope.
So we actually knew about it under
You already
embargo
knew about it.
that it was
You
coming,
already knew about
and we
it.
didn't even call it.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't say anything about it.
And we were going to film our goodbye video this morning, and I tell you, it would not have been. We didn't, but it wouldn't have been on the rundown. We wouldn't have even talked about it. We would have had an MWC wrap up without the Vive, and that's just ridiculous. I'm
All
glad
right,
we
so
didn't.
we'll start over here. So Miriam, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Sorry for crashing your
joining.
podcast,
No,
Michael.
more than welcome.
But I was like, these guys are having way too much fun, and they look like they were going to kick us out, actually. So I'm like, they're not going to kick us out if we're inside the aquarium. so me and Chippy came in here. Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Oh, where can we? You're
Yeah,
Tnkgrl
I was
on
about to
Twitter.
say.
Tnkgrl
Oh, yeah, Tnkgrl on Twitter,
Devour.
TNKGRL, and my blog is tnkgrl.com. So just tnkgrl.com and Tnkgrl and all that stuff.
Thank you. Jaime Rivera. You can see me every day at the PocketNow Daily. It's Jaime_Rivera, and
Underscore. Yeah.
I couldn't get the original.
Me too. Woohoo!
I couldn't get the original. Somebody stole it from me.
Is it italicized?
Some famous singer.
Oh.
Uh,
Always end on a strong observation. I am Michael Fisher, and I can be found on Twitter at Captain2Phones. It's Captain the number 2 phones, and also at PocketNow.com.
Nicole Scott, Mobile Geeks. Nicole_Scooter.
Word.
Okay. Of course, at Android Authority and its YouTube channel, but on Twitter and Instagram, I'm Josh Salutes.
That's so. I mean, I'm always puzzled about this the Twitter name. It's also on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's funny. I like that.
Damn kids.
Sasha SESCHA_P on Twitter, and also Mobile Geeks. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure already having you during IFA. We have to do it again during IFA, right?
Great.
And it's going to be interesting. And I just can't wait to see this stuff again at IFA. And I just can't wait to.
are we going to continue talking about
Can we talk about the Vive? By the way, I feel like we should talk about the Vive. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again at CeBIT and at IFA and next year at the Mobile World Congress. Cheers.